All righty, all. Thanks for jumping on. Uh, what we're going to go through tonight is basically an opportunity presentation for YS. So for those of us that are already involved, probably won't learn too much new. But it's just going to be designed for the new person that's having a little bit of a look. You've told them something and they want to know more. And we're going to focus on what's in it for somebody to join. What's in it for you, and why I personally feel YS is different to a lot of opportunities, and by different I mean better, of course. And but so that's going to be the focus of it. From why would somebody want to get involved? What's the benefit for them? But from the company's point of view, and why they put this opportunity together, and why they're pouring all these funds into their Australia and New Zealand campaign. It's just a simple marketing campaign. It's all about marketing and brand awareness. And, they want to get YS to be a household name. And, if everybody knows and trusts them and likes them, which tends to happen when they keep giving you money and prizes, then you're the people they choose. You're going to choose them, not a different company. Now, what we're looking on the screen now is the two main products that YS has as far as their bike sharing goes. The basic bike on the left-hand side there, and the electric one on the right-hand side. I haven't written the electric one. I've just got to keep checking in case if anybody's trying to get in and I'm not letting them in, just put a message to them into the chat. And I'll try and keep them. Is everyone hearing me okay? Just unmute yourself and let me know if somebody's saying they can't hear me very well.
Very crackly, Les.
Yeah. I don't know why that is. Who was that? Was that you, Terry?
Yeah, it's a bit crackly.
I was just talking before I started and nobody's having any trouble. Can everybody else hear me okay?
Not too bad, Les. A little bit muffled.
Yeah, muffled, probably a better word, yeah.
Terry, yeah, that's what I find.
All right. I might try without my headset then if people are having an issue there.
That sounded a bit better. The other head off. It's just a bit crackly on the way. Yeah, muffled is probably good.
All right. How about now, guys? Is that any better?
Yeah, it sounds better. Mine.
Way better.
Heaps better, Les. Yep.
All right. We'll stick with that then. What I was saying was if anybody's trying to get in and they let you know, just unmute yourself and tell me, and I'll double check, because sometimes when I get busy talking and trying to work out this PowerPoint presentation, I forget to let people in. But anyway, that's that slide. Let's go to the next one. The number one reason, and obviously the first reason I came across when I started as to what makes YS stand out and why I find they're a really good company is straight up that free trial. Probably everybody understands the free trial, but just in case you don't, you get a free 3-day trial and you'll earn 15 USDT every day for 3 days, so 45 USDT in total. And all it takes is 1 to 2 minutes every day to log into your account, activate that bike, and earn your 15 USDT. I find that the free trial is the very best way for somebody to learn about YS, the opportunity, and what might be in it for them, other than this Zoom call on now, of course. But I mean, what I mean by that is if somebody was to come to me and ask all about YS, I could tell them everything I know about YS, and they might like it or they may not. They may join, they may not. Or I could just sign them straight up for the free trial, and then they'll be in our community. Leo will talk to them. They'll see the community. I can tell them about it.
So they're going to get a lot more comprehensive information and in-depth look at it. And still, they might like what they hear. They may not like what they hear. But at least if they don't like what they hear, they still walk away with 45 USDT. If I tell them myself and they don't like it, they walk away with nothing. So it's sort of a no-brainer for me. I think everyone should just jump on that free trial and see how it goes. Of course, some people are going to want more info, but alrighty. So that's the free trial. And I've never seen any other opportunity give away 45 USDT, no strings attached. If you decide you don't like anything about the company, you still get to keep that 45 USDT. So that was the number one big surprise for me, a lot more money than I was expecting for free. And then straight up, once I joined, I found out that not only can I refer my friends and family to YS, but I'm going to get paid to refer people to the free trial. So that doesn't happen anywhere else either. And what we're looking at on the screen now is just not only do you get 5 USDT for everybody that you refer to the free trial, you get all of these extra bonuses. If you refer 3 in one day, you get a $20 bonus. If you refer 5 in one day, you get a $40 bonus plus the $20 bonus. And if you refer 10, you're going to get the $20 bonus, the $40 bonus, and an $80 bonus, plus the 5 USDT each, which would be 190 USDT for the day. That's not bad for referring people to something that's free. Nobody's put any money into it yet, and you're still getting 190 USDT out of it. That just doesn't happen in this space from my experience. I'm telling you all this because this is what makes YS different. You can see that they're committed to helping everybody out. Just get this next slide going. All right, so I'm still working on this presentation, so I'll probably juggle the slides around a little bit and refine it in the coming Zoom calls, because I'm going to be doing this at least every Saturday. If we get enough numbers, we'll start doing it twice a week. But once you finish your trial, by the time you finish, you're going to have learned a bit about YS. You're going to have seen other people's results, and Leo's obviously sent you a few messages by that stage. So we're going to go through your choices now after the free trial if you want to continue to earn. Obviously, after the free trial, if you want to keep earning, that's going to cost you some money. And we have various different levels that you can buy in at, from YS1 right through to YS10. Initially, you can only buy into YS1 to YS4. These higher levels with the higher earnings, they are only available later on. Now, what level should you start at? It's going to depend on your own financial situation, of course, but keeping that in mind, if you can, the very best way to start is at YS4. That's going to cost you the most money, but you're going to make the most per day, and that's going to be the quickest way for you to get into clear profit. Other than, it's going to be a lot quicker than, let's say, for example, you bought in at one of these lower levels, you made some profit, you use that profit to upgrade to the next level, and then you made some profit and use that to upgrade to YS4, and then eventually you get into clear profit and you can start withdrawing some funds. That's going to take a lot longer than jumping straight into YS4 and getting into clear profit, as I said. Now, obviously, not everybody's going to be in a situation to do that. So starting at the lower levels is fine. I'm just saying, if you can, that is the best option. I did want to mention this as well before we go too much further. Another unique feature of YS is their money back guarantee. If at any time in the first week you want to, for whatever reason, you change your mind, you don't want to be involved, you'll get 100% refund. Even if you've made a withdrawal in that time, you'll still get 100% of what you put in back as well, which means you'll end up with more than you put in. After the 7 days, you can still request a withdrawal if you change your mind. Doesn't matter why you change your mind. And they'll give you back all of your money. Minus, after 7 days, though, it's going to be minus any withdrawals you make. So if you put 540 USDT into YS and you've made two $100 withdrawals, and then you decide you want to get out, they'll refund you 340 USDT. So you end up at break even at the end of the day. And, you know, just to sort of drive that home a little bit, because Leo does make a lot of promises, he does offer a lot of incentives and everything, and people coming in may not necessarily trust Leo because, you know, they've only just met him, so there's no reason they should. But I can tell you without a doubt, every single promise that Leo's ever made, every incentive he's offered, every prize he's offered has been fulfilled. And I'm going to go through what those prizes and incentives were. It's different for a lot of people, but I'm going to go through a few of those later. So when they say they give you your money back, I have no doubt that they will. So what other advantages are there for you after you join? So obviously, if you want to put some money into this, you're going to need to have some reasons that it's going to be worthwhile. So obviously, the first reason is that daily reward, which is this one here. I should have explained this a little bit better. Depending on what level you buy in, you're going to earn a daily reward. And another reason that I think it's best to start at one of the either the 3 or 4 level is that if you start at YS1, you're only going to be making 2.2 USDT, or say that's 2.2 US dollars, 3.5 Aussie dollars per day, 5 days a week. And just simply because that's only a relative small amount, you may sort of start to lose the excitement of it all. Whereas if you're making 34 USDT every day, you know, that's a worthwhile amount. Of course, there's other ways you can earn as well, but this is just that daily reward. And so whichever level you're at, when you do the free trial, it's at YS3 level. So you're making 15 USDT each day. And you make that 5 days a week for 365 working days. So that's not just for 1 year. That's for 365 days where you're able to activate your bike. And we can't activate it on the weekends. For those that are just doing the trial, yes, you can activate your bike on the weekends during the free trial, but then once you start, it's just 5 days a week, not on the weekends. And also public holidays, or at least some of them, you can't activate your bike, but you'll still get 365 days where you can activate your bike. At the end of that time, your partnership ends and you can buy back in again if you wish to. All righty, back to where I was. So that's the number one reason that you may want to join after your trial, to get that daily reward. And this second point, I think this point alone is worth joining. And that's that you now have the ability to offer that free trial to your friends and family. All right. And I'm not talking about trying to refer your friends to purchase a product or spend money. At this stage, we're just inviting them to a free trial. So there's no pressure. Like, you know, the free trial is about almost 70 Aussie dollars. So like, hey, mate, come and check this out. You're going to get $70 just to check it out and see what you think. I mean, there's no pressure inviting that way. And, you know, I see, like I've been involved in other referral-based opportunities, and I noticed that a lot of people won't refer their actual family or their actual close friends because there's a little bit of fear of rejection. You're a bit worried that they might put money into something and you know, lose that money or you know, there's that sort of fear, and that's understandable. But with YS, because we're only referring them to a free trial, I see almost everybody actually referring their family, referring their friends. There was a guy just a couple of days ago, he only just finished his trial and he bought in, and already he's got his whole family on it. That's just because it's a free trial, everybody's keen to have a look. And, obviously if they like what they see, then they buy in, but then that's totally up to them. And you haven't had to put any pressure on them to do that themselves. It's just a really easy way to ease people in for a look. All right, so then we'll get on to the fruit basket, of course. That was a little bit of a novelty. It was for me when we first started. And what that's all about is we have a Telegram training channel where YS puts out some information about the company, about the opportunity, what it's all about, how it works, why it's going on. Just some pretty basic training. They put in a little bit of information every day for 3 days. And generally you can answer a couple of questions based off that, or just give Leo a summary of it all, and you'll get paid via a fruit basket. Obviously you go and buy the fruit yourself and they reimburse you. I was going to touch on this later, but I'll do it now in case I forget, as soon as I haven't done this presentation before. But this was another, when I first started, the free trial, I didn't know how much I was going to make in the free trial. I thought, maybe there's $1 or $2 to be had there. But when I found out it was 45 USDT and I got to keep that no strings attached, that was a big positive, a big unexpected good surprise. And then when I found out I got paid for referring people to the free trial, that was another unexpected good surprise. And then that, those bonuses, if you refer multiple people in one day, that was another big positive unexpected surprise. And then there was another one with this fruit basket, because when I went and bought my fruit, you're allowed to buy, you're meant to get you're meant to get 20 USDT worth of fruit. I went over a little bit. I bought about 23 USDT worth of fruit. So I was only expecting 20 USDT, and I would have been happy with that. But I ended up getting the full 23, not only the full 23 USDT that I spent. I'm converting from Aussie dollars here, of course. I also got a bit extra on top to cover any withdrawal fees, because when they reimburse you, it goes into your YS account and then you withdraw it. And there's some fees involved in that. So I got the full 23, which was 3 more than I expected, plus enough to cover the withdrawal fees. So I absolutely ended up out of pocket $0. So, that's more. And so this is what's good about YS, is everyone's first experience with it is awesome. You're getting free money, free fruit, bonuses here, bonuses there, gifts here, you win a prize here. How can you not like a company that does that? Here we go. Well, that's the fruit that I bought. That's all. And the next reason I think you should join is that, and this one, I think when I first saw this in the Telegram channel, I didn't pay much attention because I didn't really believe it, or I didn't believe it was for everybody. But once you join, you then have the ability to take some friends out to lunch or dinner. And, we fill out a YS survey form and we take a group photo and obviously tell people a little bit about YS while we're having lunch. But then it's a business expense, and YS refund that to you. I don't know what everyone else thinks, but that's huge it was that huge that I didn't fully believe it to start with. I would also mention here, though, that if you join YS and then Leo is our YS manager. And I'll go into more on what he does soon, because he's a hard worker and he helps us out so much. But I'll get into that in a minute. But don't go ignoring Leo. If he asks you questions, reply. I mean, you don't have to reply instantly, but when you get a chance to, reply. Don't ignore him and then expect to get all this reimbursement and free marketing stuff out of him. You earn what you get, but it's not hard. He doesn't take up much of your time, and it's definitely worthwhile not only replying to him, but listening to what he says and implementing as much as what he tells you to do, because that is the roadmap to success. It's not hard. It's not hard here. You join, you get your free trial, you get some free fruit, you take some friends out, you get reimbursed, and you do what Leo says. That's the roadmap to success here. But this was when I took, it was my birthday on the 3rd of December, and these people came out to lunch with me for my birthday, and we filled out a free survey form, and I got reimbursed. So, I got a free birthday lunch out of it. That's the actual survey form that we get people to fill in. As you can see, there's 7 questions, 1 or 2 minutes to fill out. So it's not a big ask by any means. I just printed out a 50-pack of these at Officeworks. It's definitely worth your while having a few of these around. It's the difference between paying for your own lunch and getting it reimbursed. So not only did he pay for YS pay for my birthday lunch, they also paid for my birthday cake, which was quite delicious. All right, so a few factors that I think makes YS better than other opportunities. I'm not here to say we're the best. We all know that already. But these are some legitimate points that make them stand out from a lot of other opportunities. As I mentioned before, everyone's first experience is a good one. Free money, free fruit. You get paid to do the training. You can get reimbursed for taking people out to lunch or dinner. Now I'm going to tell you about Leo, because his job is to help everybody. Now, normally, if you're somebody that's been in a referral-based opportunity before, when you refer somebody, you've got to explain it all to them. You've got to take them through the steps of joining. You've got to show them all the different information channels and groups where you can get information and learn about it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If this isn't a crypto opportunity, but all of our transactions are in USDT, which is a crypto. So if somebody's not already into crypto, that's going to be another little step that they're going to have to take. They're going to have to learn how to open up a crypto wallet and everything so they can withdraw their profits, which is another step to, if you were to refer somebody, you'd have to teach them that and help them set that up. And, if you do know what you're doing, you can still do that. But if not, we've got Leo here to help. So he's going to take them through what they need to do in the trial. He'll help them set up a crypto wallet so they can withdraw their profits. He'll show them which information channels they need to be in to learn about YS. And then not only that, then he starts giving them little helpful hints and tips on how to make the most of YS. And one thing that happens in a lot of opportunities is people get really excited or excited enough that they want to join, but then because they're not paying attention, they're not engaging with the communities, so they stop learning, they start to lose that excitement, and other areas of their life take precedence, and that excitement that they had, that potential they saw, starts to disappear. Everything that YS does is aimed at having you, tap in to the community, see the excitement, see the results, and all of the little, like tonight, we're going to do a raffle draw after the Zoom call, and we're going to win a barbecue, and that's thanks to Leo. And he'll offer little. I know I'll probably talk too much about Leo, but he'll also not only do that and help out, but he'll set little challenges for you so that you can. And the challenges are designed to push you, to make you take action. And like they'll be tailor-made to suit everybody. So everyone's will be different, He said to me early, and this was early on, and this had a big impact. He said, if you can hit the next rank in 1 week, within a week, I'll give you one of the YS bikes. It was a bit hard to believe that I was going to get a bike for doing so little. And this was because it was so early on and I didn't know how good YS was. Now, if Leo says something, I just believe it. But for me, other people that might not be as good at referring people or not have had as much marketing experience, he might say, if you hit that rank in 3 weeks, I'll give you something else, So some people he'll give extra money to for hitting these ranks or meeting these little challenges he gives. Some people he'll give a short span of time, other people a long span of time. It's all designed to help that person and to push them to do their best, and that's something I've never had in any other online opportunity. So thanks, Leo. I mentioned this before, but because most of the time we're just offering a free trial to people, that's what I do. Someone says they want to know what I'm talking about, I say just do the free trial. For me, that's the best way of learning, and they get 45 USDT out of it. All right, so other opportunities I've been involved in previously, there are lots of different incentives and bonuses and global bonuses and things like that you can access, but you have to prove yourself first. You have to move through a few of the ranks, and then you can access these bonuses, and they can be good bonuses, but by the time you qualify for those bonuses, you don't really need the extra money. So all these gifts and little cash rewards and raffle draws that we're doing, mostly through Leo and YS themselves, they're giving us, the little people, help when we need it. That's help when we're first starting out. And that's what keeps people excited and engaged. And excited, engaged people start to take action. And that's what I see. People are always excited and engaged, and that's why they're telling their friends and family about the free trial, if nothing else. And that's just, as I mentioned earlier, it's all about everything that Leo does and YS does. It's all designed to keep you engaged, keep you excited, because that's going to be the best for you, and that's going to be the best for YS. Now, I think I mentioned it, but I'll go through it again just quickly. I think I said it on the first slide, that from YS's point of view, it's all about marketing and brand awareness, because they want us to become a household name in Australia and New Zealand. So that if we think about, green travel, hire push bikes, hire electric scooters, we're going to think about YS. I mean, here in Townsville, we've got a couple of other brands that have electric scooters. I'm going to take my bike down there tomorrow maybe and take some photos so that people can see ours, not just the ones, because YS, the company, isn't in Townsville yet. They're only just launching throughout the place. All right, next slide. Oh, there's me. That was a bit of a quick rough photo today, but see that big stand-up banner? Guess who had to pay for that? Not me. So the more you take action, the more you start to prove yourself to Leo. And to prove yourself, you just got to start taking action. Just all the little hints and tips and challenges he gives you. If you do them, that's you taking action. And the more you take action, the more he'll help you. And so that banner is just it's a good little marketing thing. I'm putting together a lunch. So in my team, there's 6 of us now here in Townsville, local people that are in YS, and we're going to have a lunch next Saturday. And, so I'm going to have this banner there, and we're going to have this push bike that I got, the YS bike. That's just going to be there from, to make it more official, and, people will ask questions about it as well. But, that banner, that's marketing material. For me to market any other opportunity I've ever been in, I would have to purchase this marketing material. Sometimes those companies would have marketing material available and you could purchase it off them, but never, ever have I seen them give out this sort of stuff to you for free or reimburse it to you. So I just ordered that banner online and went and took a screenshot of my email receipt, sent it to Leo. He sent the money to my account. And when it turned up, I took a photo of it, and I'm going to start using that in a live setting next weekend. But yeah, so that's the bike as well. that was pretty big for me, to get this bike and to be able to show people that, yes, this is a real YS bike. They have a real product. And not only that, they sent it to me so that I can ride it and show people that it's all real. This one. So we've just had Christmas, obviously, and this is pretty big. Leo, I'm pretty sure it was just offered to everybody. They could make up these little goodie Christmas bags to give out to their friends, family, and neighbours. Leo wanted me to make up 45 of these or something. I didn't have that many friends. But I made up a fair few and I gave them out to my neighbours and friends and family just over the Christmas period. There was a $10 limit to each little goodie bag. But, you know, when everybody is able to make these up and get reimbursed, that's a big expense. It really shows just how big their marketing budget is for this New Zealand Australia campaign. I said New Zealand Australia, not Australia New Zealand, because there are a lot of Kiwis here and I didn't want to offend you. What else have we got? All right, I don't have too many more slides, but there's been a lot of gifts given out. If people show up on Zoom calls like this, we have a raffle. There was a Christmas one put together. Every time you referred somebody, you got to spin the wheel. But, you know, lots of people have won an air fryer. Heaps of people have won an electric razor, air purifiers, YS cups. I think most of us have got YS cups, coffee cups now. And they obviously go with the coffee makers that some of us have got. That's the one I got. I know a few people have got this model. A few people have got a different model. But these were little challenges that Leo gave me. And I get the coffee maker for meeting the challenge, etc. And that's all the slides I had. So I'm going to stop sharing just now. And that's it, really. I just put together a nice quick presentation just so a new person can see some of the reasons that they may want to get involved. As I said, I'll probably refine that so that there's a little bit more involved or fine-tune a little bit in the coming days. But just keep that in mind. For the moment, we'll be doing this every Saturday at the same time. And once we start getting a slightly larger team, we'll start making it twice a week. Although we've currently got 26 people on, so that's not too bad for a first Zoom call. Just checking the messages.
That's good. Thanks, Les.
Nice. But I'm going to go into the second. I'm not going to make it a long call, but if any people, especially new people, but it doesn't matter who really, if you've got any questions, now's the time to ask them, basically.